Hello, welcome again to Expat American. I am the Expat American, here with cameraman Josiah and Superman Pavel. And today we're going to look more at the metro, specifically Stalin's Empire Metro Line, otherwise known as the Brown Line. Did I say that right, Pavel?
Of course you did.
I mean, it was painted on the wall, right? So.
No.
No?
It was painted on the thick steel plate. Today we're going to show you the main, I think the heart of the Moscow metro system. This is the circular line, the fifth line, the Brown Line, as else you can call it. According to the first plans, no circular lines was in the plans. And this one, particular, the first circular line, was built from 1950 to 1954, after the World War II. So the main theme about almost every station is the military things.
It looks like a celebration and a wedding and maybe a victory of some kind.
The celebration, yes. If you want to know more about this painting, we're going to go back here and I will talk about this painting a little bit more.
This is technically not the Brown Line yet. This is the dark blue line. We're going to head over to the Brown Line now. Oh, wow. How did you get that? So we are in our first metro station, first of 12, right?
Of course.
And this looks to me old, is what I would say as an American. You got the marble walls.
This is
and
the
you
first
got
one.
The white arch. And it's like an old style metal, I would call it, on every arch of some sort of something that my grandma might have.
Connecting with the first line ever of the Moscow Metro called Park Kultury. Of course, the park itself named after Maxim Gorky, the writer. And the main idea of this station, the main theme, is the leisure. This is a very big hall with a great empire-like dome above us.
I love the dome, I love it.
Yes, and we're gonna see much cooler domes today than this one. This is extremely simple comparing to some others. Before the war, this entrance was already exist, but not exactly this. The old one was destroyed because the Stalin decided it's not for the after-war period of time, and he decided to build another one. You can see that we are standing right on the ground. There is 0 stairs between us and the outside. And this is very specific for this type of stations, for this type of time. If you look to the newer stations, the big circle or every new stations, it will be different. We're going to have the small entrances leading through the stairways right under the ground, and only after that we're going to the entrance of the metro station. It's not very convenient. The older one was more convenient in that sense. We have the big entrance, the big hall connecting several stations, several lines in one place.
All right, so there's the metro exit I just came out of. Park Kultury, I think he said. And he also said it's funny because it's named after the park that is supposedly near, but the park is like a kilometer away. And we've got this bridge here, looks like another New York style suspension bridge in the distance. Apartment buildings, the end of the bridge, and here's another better angle of the building. I want to not just see the metro, but I want to get off and see the city outside of every metro so that, you know, we get a good idea of what Moscow looks like. And you see this metal right here? This is where they used to have doors that would close, because the stations are not just metro stations, they're also bunkers to protect the citizens of Moscow in case of attack. So Pavel's hanging out with his friend Yakov, who joined us on this trip. So Pavel, what else do you want to tell us about Stalin's Empire metro line?
In decoration of every station, in every old station, there is a lot of marble, a lot of granite, and not so many ceramic plates and tiles.
We're at our second stop of 2 on the brown circle line, and what I like about this is it is dark. It's atmospheric, it's cool. For me, it's like a haunted house. And what I find interesting is I'm pretty sure in America this would be a no-go. They would say this is too dark and it's not safe. But in Moscow, that's not an issue. And what I always was curious about is this little entrance right here. It looks like some sort of entrance to a little museum or a place where people might pray.
First of all, we need to talk not so loud, because this station is all about requiem to the one who died in the World War II.
Oh, really?
Yes. Wow. This is a Stalin's Empire architecture style, purely Stalin's Empire. This is a dark station. It's meant to be dark. It's not like bad lighting.
Like a memorial for the fallen soldiers for the Great War.
In the upper part, you can see the different types of troops, all in circles. So it meant to be died in the war, so we can come here and remember about their victory, the things they did. So the Russian could stand a chance to win this war, that war. And this is just a symbolic. This meant to be like the gates to the heaven or some sort. I'm not a historian by myself, but as far as I know, this is that one, the symbolic gates to the heaven. On the entrance, from the sides of the doors, you're gonna see 2 soldiers, women and men. Да.
That's the entrance to the station we just came out of. Park Kulturi is not the station, but this one's actually closer to Park Kulturi. There is a statue of Lenin, the biggest statue of Lenin in Moscow. And looks like we got a lot of business buildings here. And if I'm not mistaken, if you turn left and head down the road there, you'll be at Gorky Park. And this station also has a Josiah sitting on the bench. Oh, that's a heavy door.
Эти косички, которые сделали, я тебе загадку хочу загадать. Какая страна?
So I'll be honest, I don't really like the light fixtures in this one, or the color of the marble. But the mural looks cool.
You know that every station in a circular line, it's a deep station. It's from the 35 to 53, I guess, meters deep. And they all build the same type of construction. It's 3 tunnels, digged independently. And after that, every architecture of every station make the question how to make it seems more air, more free, not so close, not so tight. There is not very many options except to making the pylons through every tunnel to connect them. And the pylons are not very big. They making not very big holes, and there is a still claustrophobic sense of being inside these tunnels. And every architecture find their own way out to make it looks a little bit nicer.
And they're building it to not feel claustrophobic, to feel open. So the high ceiling is on purpose.
The high ceiling,
okay,
the white floor,
white color?
White color, and the steps on the upper
And when you say
side.
3 tunnels, so there's a tunnel for that car, a tunnel for this car, and then you've got this tunnel in the middle.
Platform.
Now the tunnel in the middle, does it go all the way, or is it just a short run for the platform?
All the way to where?
To the next station.
Oh, of course.
Well,
not.
I didn't know if they had like infrastructure of,
No.
you know, electronics and pipes or something.
No.
I like the chandeliers with the red star on it, like communism. And then I like this simulated tapestry, which is actually a mosaic down the wall. They've got a couple of them, and this one has Lenin on it. Anything else, Pavel?
I think this entrance, like the logical continuum of the downstairs, it's more open space, more air, like a lot of white colors in it. So
and these columns, are they meant to look like
the torches, I
something,
think.
yeah, that would have a flame on it?
Those are braziers. They're like really large torches meant to hold fire. I don't remember which culture it is, but sometimes people would put food into them to sacrifice it to the gods, things like that.
That's Piatnitskaya, I think, down there. And you might be able to make out that old Soviet mural there that I think was covered up by another building when they took it down. They uncovered that old art. And we got more apartment buildings. That is Moo Moo. That's very tasty Russian bistro food. Josiah and I have already eaten there for a video. That's the big metro entrance. So this looks beautiful and old in all the right ways to me, and it's not covered up by any bridges. And looks like we got a church steeple down there and some more older buildings. That bus is covering up a Burger King. And then here, this used to be a giant McDonald's, and now it is a giant Russian McDonald's.
Later.
We'll just do it on another escalator. See, the escalator gives us lots of time. There's a voice that's going to talk to us soon. Will it be male or female, Pavel?
When we go into counterclockwise, it's female. When we're going clockwise, it's male. It's helping to the people who do not see good to understand where are they going. If it's not the circular line, so it's from the center and to the center.
Yes, so it is a female voice leaving the center and a male voice going to the center. Aha, female, which means
counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. And so the female voice leaving the center is supposed to be a woman calling you home, and the male voice
Yes.
going to the center is supposed to be
Going
men
to the work.
calling you to work. I'm serious, that's what I heard.
No, it's correct.
This one's also dark, like the one we went to that was a memorial. And this looks very Greek to me, with the columns and even the tile stone work for the ventilation, I suppose. And I like the stairway headed down.
This is not supposed to be dark, I think, because here is a lot of light sources. Even in the pylons there is a light sources. And this is the first station in the circular line for our course for today, connected with the train station. The circular line connects 7 of 10 train stations, the big train stations of Moscow. And this is a big deal because this was the first plan to connect the underground railway to the big railway.
I like the mosaic here.
And
yes,
the
hammer and sickle.
The main theme about this station is the Volga. The Volga, the river Volga. And this is meant to be the union between the workers and collective farmers.
I love the hammer and sickles everywhere in these stations.
Everywhere
It's
in
like
Union.
history, right? Because they wouldn't put it up today, right? So it's something that is still left behind.
It's the symbol of the Soviet Union. It's
Right.
like the flag, like something.
Right.
It should be everywhere.
Pavel thinks this dome is bigger and cooler. I like it, but I like the other one better. It was like yellow and had lots of squares in it. This one looks kind of dark to me.
You love the sickles and hammer.
Hammer and sickle, where?
Everywhere.
I don't
like
see it.
Every square meter.
Oh, it's really tiny. See, I'm 48, so I can't see that. I see it now.
Super.
Metro M. Josiah and Pavel and crew are headed into that tunnel. I'll chase after them. But it looks like a business district to me. Office buildings. And a little, yeah, it looks like a church perhaps over there. Dome structure of some kind. And this looks like an old-fashioned magazine stand. looks like maybe the walls are supposed to be white, now they're yellow, or maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. And this
They are
design
white.
looks like an old decorative plate, like you'd hang on the wall. And they've got the I guess like the baby blue color scheme.
It's again, it's all about military stuff. As we saw it earlier, it's about different types of military troops. The decision of making this less stress, less claustrophobic, the cross-section of that pylons going up to the end, to the upper end of that floor, and like crossing each other and going back. It's very unique type.
Very cool. We came to this big dome and I thought this is the exit, this is the hall and we're leaving, but it's not. There's another escalator out of here. So we're deep enough that we took an escalator up. It was a pretty long escalator. Now we have this beautiful dome, and then we take another escalator even further up, and I see an old Soviet Union flag hanging in the painting of the dome. Okay, we're going out. Got a KFC right in front of us here. And then we have this old church, pretty old church, because from what I hear, this church was gonna be knocked down for this metro stop that they put here, but the people did not want that to happen, which is pretty cool because during that time it was communism, so religion was not important. So this is the back of the metro we just came out of, and that looks like old office buildings and shops and people taking a smoke break. And I'm just basically walking around the metro building because it's such a congested area. So I like this old decorative fence and the tiny old style street lights. And looks like the Soviet Union's version of Boy Scouts painted on the wall there. Girl Scouts, but not Girl Scouts. I forget the name of it. I'll write it on the screen. It says Slab right there. There's another Russian McDonald's. We got construction. And the entrance to the metro.
The most complicated road cross-section of all in Moscow. It's complete disaster before a lot of painting on the road.
I like this station. It's very bright, very light. I like the Greek style columns here. And I don't know if you can see, but it's like gold flower trim up top. And yeah, looks cool. Looks old, looks stylish. What do you think, Pavel?
This is the next station. It's called Kurskaya. And yes, you can see how light and bright it could be if you make enough pylons and make enough light sources inside of it. This is a very strict Soviet classic style architecture.
This is cool, Pavel.
I think it's even more. It's super cool. And even more, it's not the exit, it's not the entrance, it's completely underground. This place is just connecting several stations, including the train stations, together. And not a lot of people can see it unless they want to get inside.
So this giant column obviously is for support, and this is an interchange of multiple stations. So it says light green, dark blue, brown.
And
that is exit to, it looks like a
station.
commuter train. Here is the map that they have
там
on
ничего
the
нет, там
wall
точно
when you're
быстрый
exiting
проход.
every
По-моему, вот здесь.
station that I've shown in other metro
Надо было с
videos.
другого выходить.
And so Yakov and Pavel
Но мы здесь вот сейчас,
are
мы здесь.
learning how to read the map right
Мы сейчас
now.
здесь, вот. Вы здесь.
Josiah is reading a book on his phone, and there's another view of that giant column.
We're now standing in a very, very unique place, because if you look up, you will see the letters. The unique about this place is that these words mean the Stalin inside this phrase. This is the words from the first Soviet hymn. I forgot, this is how it in English is, it hymn translatable. Hymn? The half of these words was removed after de-Stalinization. And after the reconstruction, that was gone not so many years ago, the rest of the words were recovered, and now we can see the full phrase.
You see that, the bag scanners and the body scanners? That's good. It's good security.
On every station, it's a law.
There's the chandeliers again in here, and there's a giant sword on the wall. So we've got arches as we come out, and Pavel and Yakov. There's a bunch of art painted on the side of that building. Got a catwalk there, and office buildings. And that is RGD, so this is commuter trains, and also perhaps a train station for trains heading out of Moscow. Here's a look at the metro entrance that we just came out of. Entrance and exit. Some utility buildings and a market and other shops.
You can see this big shopping mall. They made it a little bit beautiful by this art, like I forgot the word. How do you say that?
I call it paint.
Painting, like graffiti style painting.
Oh yeah, sort of, yeah.
And it was more ugly before that. Now it makes a little bit sense, but you know, this is a circle road, and every train station is faced to the circle road. When you go into the circle road, you can see all the historical buildings, all the places, all the metro entrances, all the train stations, most of which very beautiful. But here you can see only the big shopping mall when you're going through the road, and you can see not the train station. Maybe it's not the greatest one, but you cannot see the metro entrance, and everything else blocked. The view is blocked.
So they have destroyed some of your childhood memories with this capitalist structure.
And they not stopping on this. They, as I can see, they building something New York style.
We call that a catwalk. Oh, you mean the buildings behind it?
I mean that skyscrapers stuff.
Huh, interesting. What do you think, Yakov?
Not historical at all.
That's what I thought. I really like this that we're doing because I just did the giant brand new metro circle, which is like the outskirts. Well, not the outskirts, but the outer edge of Moscow. And now we're doing this, which is the smallest metro circle in the center of Moscow. So we get to really see, if we watch both videos, a good picture of what Moscow is really like.
Very noticeable thing that in the plates you can see said Kurskaya Большого Кольца, big ring. This ring was not in the first plans, but when it started to building, the plan of the smaller ring appears. And if you know, it was never been realized, never been constructed, but the plate on the station Kurskaya still here.
Aha, I like this one. This is beautiful. I like this one a lot. I remember this one. So this is where I get off to get on the train to go to Yaroslavl, let's say.
This is the...
Very beautiful, very royal, and very king, czar, French,
exactly.
Napoleon type looking thing.
Because the station connects the three train station at once, the three main train station of Moscow, and it's supposed to be like the face of the Moscow.
Oh, really?
You're going through the train, right above the ground, you're seeing all this and saying, wow, this is a Moscow looks like.
Because people are coming here by train.
Yes.
Very open, very bright, not claustrophobic at all. Oh, look, so there's like a different mosaic, like every couple of meters.
As I heard, the decoration comes from the Stalin speech
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was saying about generals, like in a general word, in a general meaning of generals for the history of Russia.
It's kind of a long way out for this exit, so it's a tunnel that I'm walking through to find the escalator out of here. And we're more than halfway through with this line. So again, like I always say, you know, leave a comment and let me know what you think. You know, we did a brand new metro line, a circle, and now we're doing the oldest circle. And how does it compare to your city? What do you think of Moscow, even the older stations? Nice old wood doors. All right, very cool statue. As we come on out, guy on a horse killing a dragon, I believe. And I've seen art of that on the different transportation systems in Moscow. I'm a little out of breath because I chose to walk up the left on the escalator. So this is train station, and there's some shops in the train station. There's like a German style roof line, in my opinion. Here's the metro we just came out of. There's a more modern building. It's an upper level of restaurants for that train station. And that is fabric covering something that's under construction. I still don't see any bears, any bad guys, no scary places, dirty people, dirty things. I mean, you can tell in some areas it's an older city, obviously, but I think it's well kept. I think it looks very romantic and European. So there is the one train station. So I've come like to the front. So this is like the main boulevard that goes through where all these train stations meet up. And there is one of Stalin's buildings, the Seven Sisters. Here is the hall right before you exit, or right before you take the escalator down. Is this what we were talking about before?
Yes, this is exactly that same ceiling doors. And you can see the rail that we cannot see on other stations. So if we take apart or remove these doors with this thin sheet of metal, we can see the big ceiling doors that can be slide closed. And I think this is the lock mechanism. The lock, like the thing that can lock this door completely. Ceiling.
And then this metro will become a place to hide and be safe.
Like the bunker. Or bomb shelter, if you call it that way. Very
interesting. That's really cool that they thought to do that, because the metros are big underground. You can hold a lot of people in here.
Конечно.
Again, we got plates on the wall, and this has like a gold wash to it, which I think is really pretty. You got the arch, it's very lit. This is not my style of chandelier, but it looks, to me, it looks like old style in a good way, so it's kind of cool.
The station is called Prospect Mira, like prospect, like the street of peace. So the main theme here in decoration is peace and rest, being in the comfort in ordinary life. And everything we can see here on the pillars is about that, about resting and feeling comfort, as far as I know.
Wow, so kind of a Greek style relaxing, eating berries and enjoying your harvest.
Or collecting your farmer.
Oh, very cool. Wow, it looks like a church. It's very beautiful, all the stained glass.
Exactly like the church. This is because you can see here the stained glass. It's meant to be in the church actually, because in Moscow, in Russia, there is no such thing. There is no such, I don't know, the fabric who can build that kind of glass. It comes from the Latvia, from the Riga, the capital of Latvia, and it's supposed to be made for the churches. The main theme of this station is controversial to the most of that we saw before. There is zero military ideas. This is all like fairy tale stuff and the imaging also is more modern, more like the one you can see in the late 20th century. It's not a lot of things that can connect all this decoration to USSR times.
Got shops off this Brown Line exit. Beautiful building in the distance. Getting warmer, more people are hanging out outside. Well, I think it's probably the same as when it was winter time, honestly. There's Stars Coffee and Moo Moo Cafe. There's the metro entrance we just came out of. More shops down that street. And there's Teremuk, Russian fast food. I like this station a lot because there's mosaics on the ceiling, and each mosaic, if you have time to look, is different. I guess they had that at the yellow station. It looked like a palace as well.
Can you see some difference from other stations?
Well, this looks like a harvest theme.
Basic changes, basic difference.
Well, no, it's a grid pattern.
This
right?
station's name's Belaruska, Belarusian. The Belarusian is a different type of people, different country, different culture.
They're like neighbors to Russia.
Yes, the Soviet Union
they're like
is
the Canada of Russia.
The Soviet Union is the union, and there's different cultures, there's different peoples, different countries united together. And this station is about Belarusian culture, Belarusian symbols.
Arches again. So got older business buildings. And of course little shops on the sidewalk. And a big square here with no giant shopping malls, so you can see the older style buildings all lit up, looks nice and romantic. And that is a train station right there. And there's another building under construction and the metro that we just came out of. Is that my tired crew waiting for me to come back from being outside? Oh wow, cool. So we've got, looks like metal plaques on the wall. So I like this place. They've got metal plates at every column and each one is different. It says 1905 and it looks like people that are having a hard time or trying to overcome something. So I'm guessing it's some sort of important event in 1905, and I see the little hammer and sickle here and there.
Important, very important. It's
Yeah?
the revolution, October Revolution of 1905.
I saw a movie about that, and that's what this is.
Every plate is about something happening somewhere. And this one is about Bronenосец Potemkin, rebellion on the ship. And the other one, all this station is about the revolution. The main one, of course, happens here in Moscow. Behind us, there is an interchange to the other station. And the way time ago, there was no interchange. There was a dead end, and in that dead end, there was two statues of Stalin and Lenin.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
interesting.
it doesn't mean anything because they were not in the revolution. they were after the revolution.
Heavy doors. These old stations have some really heavy doors. Very cool. So I'm coming out from underneath some columns here, and that, you probably know what that is, the Moscow Zoo. So I guess I was walking behind this thing not too long ago, smelling elephant. And so we got a cool statue there outside this metro exit, which is a big circular building. And look at that, one of the Seven Sisters. That one actually has a restaurant at the bottom that you can eat in. And there's a nice coffee shop across the street from it.
Let's go to the Lenin.
So I like this station a lot. It's like gold crusted everything. It's got a mosaic next to every arch, and it's got golden chandeliers swinging with the wind of the trains.
This station is called Kievskaya. It's named after the train station that's above us. It's all about history. We're not saying anything. So behind us there is again the Lenin and some words from the Soviet Union hymn.
You could say it's about the union of Slavic people.
Not all Slavic people.
So here I am getting ready to take off and go outside to look at my final outside station. Very cool. So this one has a Greek style to it, in my opinion. Okay, so here is a giant shopping mall. The Europesky shopping mall. I've been here many times. There's the clock tower. I've seen that before. Different shops. Here's the metro entrance. And yeah, office buildings. There you go. I think that's 2 shopping malls actually. Heading back to where we started.
We get the full circle and now we're back at our starting point near this great image. I promise I'm gonna explain a little bit deeper about this one. In 2010, there was some kind of disaster. The groundwater break through this metal sheet behind this painting, and all the painting was crumbled down. And the reconstruction started. It took a little bit more than 3 years, and after that they have to do from scratch, like painted it again from scratch. And for reference, they took the very first photo of this image, and it turns out that it is different.
Cool.
It is different. That guy with a white beard appears. It wasn't here.
Really?
Really? And this girl used to have the deep red dress.
Oh, wow.
Now it's pink and it's much more detailed. Wow. Because the early one was very like not sharp, smooth. Right. And most other people's was also not very sharp, not very clean looking. So now it's looking much better, but I still see the cracks. So it's very interesting how long it will take to break once again.
What do you think of Stalin's Empire Circle Metro line? Click like, click subscribe, leave a comment, click the box to see what happens next, interrupt my speech and share this with your friends.
Oh!
That speech they have in Mission Impossible 3.
Тест? Тест. Проверка, как слышно, нет ли шумов. Oh!
I don't know. Kind of what would you call it? Old style. Forget it, I messed it up. Okay, start over. So what is de-Stalinization?
Again?
You didn't like the first time. So Pavel, tell us. There's too many people in the way. Oh, these Russian ladies walking past me. I need to film. It's about de-Stalinization.
Okay.
Well, what is de-Stalinization?
Again?
Again. We're on our 4th escalator.
Stalin's what? Very bad.
Filming. No, we're talking. All right, are you on? All right. I said that already.
Do it again.
All right, fine. Секундочку.
Основное, конечно, событие, что это восстание на трехгорной мануфактуре, которая находилась как раз...
I'm lit. I'm on.
Say something good for your subscribers.
Well, I don't like the noisy trains.